Are we up and running? Good morning, good morning. I zoomed out the camera a bit more. We've been zoomed in a bit too tightly, I think. Couldn't see much of the street view, so I've zoomed it out a bit today. In the distance, of course, you can see the famous Don Quixote penguin. You can see 5 of our trees. This is Rokudori, the street of the 6th district. It's not street number 6. A lot of people make that mistake. Rokudori, it sounds like street 6. It's not. Roku, district 6. Dori, Rokudori, the street of the 6th district. It sounds like the name of a mystery story. And when they did the renovation of the street, the new sidewalks and stuff, this happened before I came. About 3 or 4 years before I came. They decided they needed some trees, and somebody had the idea that we need 6 trees. And you can see 5 of them here. 3 on the left side of the street, and you can see 2 of them on the right-hand side of the street. There's a 6th tree, it's off to the right-hand side. We see it when the camera is in the other viewpoint. The blue building in the middle, it's famous, of course. Less famous now than it used to be. It's Tokyo's most famous restaurant for a certain type of meat, if you can call it meat. Somebody doesn't like it more, SFL. It's disappearing, guy. Don't worry about it. It is a disappearing part of the culture. It will never completely disappear, but whatever. It's no longer the big deal that it used to be. And the more that Westerners push Japan to get rid of it, the more they are going to dig their heels in. So the strategy is just to stand back and let it die a natural death, which it is doing. The Don Quixote, someone's talking about it, it's chaos. Well, it's kind of busy. It's much less chaos than it used to be. Absolutely than it used to be. That Don Quixote here was built just before we came. We opened in October, November of 2014, and the Don Quixote building opened in, I think it was September, about a month or so before we came. It's a new building. It used to be one of the old theaters. The building was torn down. And the current Don Quixote chaos is nothing like the old days before the fire. Okay. Here's our street view. You know what the work is today? It's going to be the same work. Printing. We've got a light one today. This is the block that will print the straw roof of the old-fashioned house. And we use the same color for the skin color for the 2 people in the middle. It's an easy one today. Very, very peaceful, easy work. I've changed the Baren. You know the Baren I was using the other day, the strong, hard one. I've changed out the Baren, and I'm using one of our lighter, more delicate ones. It's not split, so I can't show you inside, but it's a delicate Baren today because the surface area is so small. Some saying if you need a random adapter, they might have it. Not here anymore, Karen. This has changed. Our local Don Quixote has changed very, very much over the past few years. If you went in there 10 years ago, you would have found your adapter between 250 and 640 and whatever, because they had a big, massive selection of that sort of thing. Now they don't. They're catering to the people who come in who want suitcases because they're traveling, they're shopping, they want to buy a new suitcase. Huge amounts of space are suitcases. Huge amounts of space are booze, drink, and makeup and cosmetics are massive. They're more than 1 floor now. I can't even go and buy my toothpaste in there anymore. They don't have it. They don't bother with that kind of stuff anymore. So it's dramatically changed. It changes all the time. They are very much in touch with the market and who their customers are and what their customers want. And they rebuild, what's the word? They reinvent that place all the time. Hokusai exhibit in Chicago. I don't know what's on, but I can guess the kind of stuff that they're doing, yes. Yes, Donkey's prices are high. They used to be a discount store, and they still promote themselves as a discount store, but if you look around, they are actually not. I don't think we need the backing sheet here today. The paper is soft, but we're not powering down. We just got some small areas here. So there's what we're printing today. We're printing the straw roof of the house, and we can use the same color for the people, and there's another building over on the right-hand side. So this is one of those impressions where you can pretty much just turn your brain off, just peacefully go ahead and work. You can't totally turn off because you want to make sure the registration's okay, but if all the work was this simple, man, this job would be the easiest job on the planet. Okay, what's up today? Today we have actually something a little bit different. What's the phrase? And now for something completely different. It's not completely different, but it's a little bit different. We get a package yesterday. I'm going to print for a while first, but partway along, we are before the regular show. We have a show and tell at the end of the stream, but before the show and tell, we have something else to do. And I can tease you about it. It's a box that arrived from America by hand delivery. Somebody jumped on an airplane from Austin, Texas, came over and delivered this to us yesterday afternoon. Hand delivery from the US of A. And we talked about, I think, I got an email last week telling me what was going to be going on. This is a package from the young printmaker Jack Moranitz. Baren Cookies Janai. This is from Jack Moranitz. So I guess must live in Austin, I guess. I don't know. Karen knows what's going on here. Is Karen still here? No, it wasn't Karen. But Karen, you know what's in the package here. I guess you've got one of these already, Karen. Jack is making Barens, and today I gotta do some work here first and get going on this one. But then partway along the stream, maybe halfway through the stream today, we will open Jack's package, and it's a Baren. And at his request, we are going to open this, look at it, talk about it, and we are going to try using it today to print some of our prints. Jack is confident enough of his product that he feels that David can use it here. We'll talk about it more later. I'm very much looking forward to opening it. It sounds like a really, really cool thing. And if we've got some links, I didn't prepare a link. Is Jack here or Karen's here? Anybody's got a link to what this is? Please post it in now so people can look at it. Jack is making these Barens. He is selling them. There's a page online where you can see what they look like and stuff. So if somebody's got the link, you can post that in right now. If Jack is here, or Karen knows what this is all about. So go ahead, post a link. I'll print for a while with this one. Then we'll open up Jack's Baren and we'll try printing with it. Is it the only time I speak? I speak English all day long. I'll be in shop duty today and tomorrow, and from morning till night, I will be speaking in English all day long. That's the people who visit are 99.99999% foreigners. These days, I'm living in English. There's very few chances I get to speak just in Japanese. Yesterday too. Yesterday I wasn't supposed to be in the shop. I was supposed to be up here printing. And I was for the morning session. And then partway through the morning, somebody called me down and said, Dave, there's somebody in the shop that really would like to speak to you. So I got down there, and that was it. I didn't get back up here for the rest of the day. And it was a classic day of visitors. I got to be careful what I say, because what I say next might seem to be indicative of ranking or choosing or whatever. I'll just list some of what happened, whatever. The reason they called me down was because the English conductor, the gentleman who has been here doing the concerts and stuff, he had dropped in unexpectedly. I thought we had seen him. I thought he'd gone home, but he dropped in unexpectedly. So no problem, go down and chat. The gentleman's name was Gavin, and he is a classical music conductor. No problem, spend time with him, out they go. While he was here, somebody else heard me talking to Gavin, and once that conversation had finished, they came over and said, "Good afternoon, Dave. I've been watching the YouTube videos. Didn't expect to see you here today because your website says you're here Saturday and Sunday." And I said, "Well, yeah, I mean, whatever, I'm here." But he said, can we speak for a minute?" And I'm like, "I'm here, whatever. Yes, no problem, no problem, no problem." And it turns out, we chat for a minute, and I ask, "What do you do? What's going on? What do you do? Whatever." And he was an accountant, and he had seen something about on one of these streams. I'm talking about the tax office people chasing us and whatever. So he wanted to talk a little bit about the accounting and the tax problem. No problem. We had a fun conversation for this, no problem, 10, 15 minutes, whatever. I don't know if they bought prints later, it doesn't matter. We just had our fun conversation, and the conversation kind of ran its course, and away it was. But while we were chatting, maybe we're talking kind of loud, and other people who are in the shop can hear what's going on. And as we were finishing this conversation, a guy, he was here with his father, a young man, maybe 30 or so, clearly they were a father and son couple. And he looked and looked and looked, and it was clear that he wanted actually to speak to me as well. So one conversation is finishing, this guy looked at me, I looked at him, and I did the thing. Next! Let's go. And we all break down, and he comes over. He really hadn't wanted to bother me. People are really, really, really super polite. But whatever, we did this thing. So no problem, we chat for a minute. I do the thing. I'm curious, I want to know, what do you do? It turns out that he and his father have their business together, and they're in North Dakota, near Canada. And he introduced himself, we're neighbors of yours, from Canada. And what they do is they rebuild, I guess they don't build, they rebuild and maintain whatever diesel engines. The diesel engines that are in like trucks or whatever, or in farm equipment. I asked him, what your customers in what? They're farmers and truckers and stuff. He said, yeah. And it turns out that the way they run their business is the farmer comes in with his combine that's got a diesel engine, and these guys actually fix it. So we're in the same business, we make stuff. And I said, that's cool, you make stuff or whatever. And they're in the same problem as we are with stuff importing to America, because like to fix the part of an engine in the combine, they need a particular part that comes from Bosch in Western Germany or something. And they're struggling right now with the import thing. So we cried on each other's shoulders for a while. But the point of why I would mention this, 1, 2, 3, and then it continued during the day. There was more people. But at the end of the day, when I'm out for dinner, reviewing what had happened over the day, it's, again, this hits me so many times. There's no type here. There's no standard anything. Who has going to see YouTube videos and come in this shop, an English conductor, a diesel mechanic from North Dakota, an accountant from, I forget where he was from, I don't remember. They just go on and on and on. And I cannot now predict anything about the people who come in and say hello to us. It maybe strikes male a bit more than female. It's not maybe 50-50, maybe, I don't know, I don't have any data, 60-70% male, 30-40% female. An age group, there's nothing. There are literally children. The family will come in, the father will say, "Dave, can we speak to you? My daughter here, she's 9 years old, she's been watching your videos and she would like to say hello." We've got children up to people who, whatever, as maximum age as they can travel. It's a stunning cross-section. I've long ago given up trying to figure out what's the common factor here. What is the one thing that ties all these people together? And it's not even specifically an interest in Japan. It's absolutely crazy. I kind of wish that when this started, the influx of visitors from YouTube, when this started back in 2017 or so, I really kind of wish that I had sort of kept a little list of the kind of things so I could look at this and figure out, look at this, a diesel mechanic standing next to a classical music conductor. Like, what's going on here? I'm not ranking this. As I said, really, this is just so much fun. I'm not saying the high class person and the low class person. It's just an insane mix of different kinds of people. And we've probably got the same thing in this chat here. I don't know. Maybe this chat, the people over there right now, however many people are in here, I don't have a number. OSB doesn't show me because I guess Twitch knows that. My system sends to Twitch, Twitch sends to you, so I don't see a readout here. There are 342 people watching or something. I don't see that. But what's the cross section here? Are you all geeks who are computer programmers who have this chat up in one corner of your window while you're at work? Very, very, very curious. Okay. I don't have the Tasmanian spoon. I have Ishikawa-san's spoon. I was using it last night, and I'll be using it again this afternoon. But yeah, was that your example of one side of it? The Tasmanian mailman? Whatever. I think we probably, programmers are probably, IT people are going to be represented, I think. And that's the thing we mentioned, because, there will be people watching this. Of course, I hear this all the time. What are you doing wasting your time watching my work? And they say the same thing. Dave, I am at work. Your stream is in one corner of my stream. I'm a programmer. I've got your thing here. So that perhaps as we skew in that direction. Somebody who works on an assembly line making Toyotas, they can't watch this stream because they're kind of busy making Toyotas, But the people who work on a computer screen will skew that way, absolutely, I think. So if somebody says IT, I've got your stream on one computer, work on another. Probably half the people watching this today are that profile. There's something I should admit to. I kind of failed yesterday. This is an ego thing. This is a little miniature confession here. No matter what kind of people come in, and when they start talking, I ask what they're doing, and I don't want to talk about me and my work because they know what I've done. They know what's going on. The purpose of this conversation is I'd like to learn a bit more about them. Who is this person that's been watching our videos and saying hello? So I try, really, I try and push the conversation into what they're doing and what's going on. And it's an ego thing with me where I like to think that I can be the intelligent person in the conversation. So if they're talking about their work or something, I like to be able to be a intelligent recipient and be able to ask something that makes sense. Oh wow, you do this. I want to be have a conversation. And if it was the example I meant before, the accounting, I can handle that, no problem at all. I can ask some interesting questions, what you're doing and how it's going on, or whatever. But I got stumped yesterday, and not with a conductor. I could talk to the conductor, no problem, because when I was a young music student, trying to think about being a conductor was one of the things I wanted to do. So I can't do it, but I did it as a young student. So there's no problem with that conversation before. I mentioned before, a lady was here a month or so ago. She's a bassoon player in the Vienna Philharmonic. Okay, I used to be in a musical group with a bassoon player. I can handle my end of that conversation. But the guy yesterday, he hit me. The guy who rebuilds diesel engines. This is okay. He was a fun guy. We started conversing. We talked about the customs problem importing his packages. We have common ground there. But that was about as far as it went. I have never overhauled a diesel engine. I think I might understand some of the concepts about how they work, but not enough to be able to uphold my end of a conversation that would be of interest to him, you know. So I failed on that one. Of course, we're laughing about this. He wasn't expecting me to describe compression ratios in a cylinder, so of course not. We're putting on the tone for the straw roof, the skin tone, and the other roof over there. That's 25 sheets. The sheets here are in groups of 25. There's 100 altogether to be done, so that's actually, that little group that you just saw is 1/8, 12.5%, 1/8 of this morning's work. Okay, I think what we should do, let's do the thing with Jack's Baren. I've got work done this morning. I know a feel. We've got the way the paper quality and stuff like this. I'm set up and running. So let's look at Jack's Baren and see how this fits in to our work pattern here. Got to say something right ahead. Jack, when he wrote to me about this, he said, Dave, please don't be too strict with this. He's not intending that this is a replacement for all of our professional tools. There's 400 years of history that's in this tool. It's not invented by one person. It's an evolution of different kinds of tools that require a printer, that allow a printer to make a certain kind of print on a certain kind of paper, on a certain kind of a wood block. So it has evolved to fit its ecological niche. And what Jack is offering here, he's not attempting to replace 300 years of evolution in one go. What he wants is to provide a product that will do this job for people that can't afford to spend $2,500 on this and who don't know how to maintain it and who just don't have the capability to get something like this. So I don't want to insult him. It's an entry-level tool. No, it's a tool for people who don't have access to a professional tool. And he hopes that either this model or the next model or the one after will get better and better and better and will be able to do the job as well as a professional tool. I guess I can destroy this, right? We're talking about paper. I believe this is Mark II. I think Jack has been working on this sort of a project for a while, and this, I believe, is Mark II. A nice logo. Did you make that with a woodblock print? No, it's inkjet. Moku Des, I guess that's a company name, Jack Moranitz. This is going to be fun. Did we have a link? Did somebody put a link already in? Is there dramatic music playing in the background? The link is pinned. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Oh, Jack, there's a letter. Is it okay? Is it public? I think it's okay. Dave, I wanted to share this project with you because I thought you would find it interesting. That's a no-brainer. I'm a mechanical engineer, so I've been trying to develop a Baren with adjustable strength options. To pause there, we don't have an adjustable Baren. We use a collection of Barens, a strong one, an intermediate one, a weaker one. So I've got to pay $2,500 10 times to get a bunch of these tools. Back to the letter. I've been trying to develop a Baren with adjustable strength options. I've been making woodblock prints for a while now, but lately I've been focusing a lot on this project. Right now, I've been making YouTube series about this, and I'm trying to get these out to other printmakers and get their feedback. You've always been a bit of inspiration for me. Thanks for all you do, Jack Moranitz. Let's do this. Let's do this. I guess this is the product as it comes to. Oh, there's more. Is there an instruction manual? Why TTT? Is that what it says? TTT. Looks like some turtles. 3D printing, huh? Look at this. They're color coded. And I guess, actually it's funny, they look quite similar. I would have thought there would be smaller dots, medium dots. They seem to be the same almost. Jack, are you here? I didn't get the manual into this box because Jack is here, okay. They have different doming radii. Okay, I begin to see what's happening here. We're talking about a couple of different things. There's a dot pattern, raised plastic dots. These will obviously do the rubbing part. And I was expecting to see small dots, medium dots, and large dots. That's not what we're seeing here, but I am now, can we see the difference? Whoa, these are subtle. The concentration of the dots is different and the curvature is different. How can I? This is overkill, but whatever. Oh, nuts. This is cool. They're different, but not so much. So that's all I can find. Relax. So around this time, the green one seems to be the flattest. Then yellow and then white. Is that the idea? If I got this right? They're very, very subtle, the difference, you know. Use the white tile. It's dirty with pigment. We do this. There's a flat part in the middle, and then it rocks up towards the edges. Okay, I get it, but I'm having trouble actually seeing the difference. What has it got? White is standard, yellow is coarse, green is fine. And then obviously we're going to have the handle. This is heavy. This is metal. White is standard. Let's start with the standard one. I don't want to break it. How do I get it off? Just unclick it? I don't want to break it. Is there a technique for getting it off? No, it's not aluminum. This is heavy, 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 heavy. Is this steel, Jack? This is heavy, 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 heavy. I am really kind of nervous, so I'm sorry. I'm really, really, really kind of nervous about my wood. Étonné. I'm really, really kind of nervous here. Jack says, press the raised plastic with your finger. Press the raised plastic. You mean this part? Just push it off. On the back, 2 semicircles. Yeah, here. So I can push this part, the clicked part, shouldn't I? Okay, it came off, all right. I was just afraid to break it, I'm sorry. So I get the idea, okay. Okay, I'm in. The plastic reflects. Okay, which is the lightest one? Because the block we have here is a very, 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 very small item. Which one was the light one? Green is fine. It's not going to... Do I need oil? Anything? What do I need to do here? Okay, test paper. Do I have parchment paper? I have the, I have the stuff we were using. This is very, very super thin. It's not parchment. It's the paper from Goto-san. The paper that Goto-san sells as ategami. It's really, really super thin. Give it a try. All right. Okay, this is junk paper. This is not printing paper yet. It's junk paper. It's so heavy. It prints. I'm really, really nervous about damaging my block. This is very, very hard stuff. And I can feel banging the edges of the wood. Well, it works. Of course it works. There's no question about that. Let me change out the block. Let me find a piece of wood that's got a bigger, wider area. This is not a fair test because I'm really nervous that this super hard metal stuff is going to damage my wood because it's such a delicate carving. Let me grab a different piece of wood. Hang on one sec. Where can I find a different piece of wood that I can... Okay, let's try this. We've got a flat block with no carving. This is just a flat piece of wood. This is the print that Ayumi-san is working on right now. She's working on the Hasui Mount Unzen. And one of the blocks is a flat, bare block with nothing on it. Brush. I need a bare brush. Or let's use this. It doesn't matter. Let's use this. I can wash it later. Jack says the coarse pad. What color, sir? What color is the coarse one? Yellow. Wood is dry here. Let's get it warmed up. Okay, just first off, just copy paper. This is just blank white copy paper, nothing. It's not a fair test because it's not thin. It's not has not enough body. It doesn't want to slide. You know, it works. The curvature is right. The curvature feels good. It's so heavy. I'm struggling with the weight, but it works. And it prints. This is a dry block, dry piece of paper. The thing works, you know. My overwhelming negative thing is the weight. It's so heavy, but it works. It does the thing. The curvature is right in the way we want to rub across this. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's get a piece of washi. Let's sacrifice one of our prints in our stack. Okay, this is one of the prints in the stack that I've done. We're going to sacrifice this. It's already got a mark. There's a trouble with the paper, so it's no big deal. It's not a print we could sell. So let's use a piece of washi like this. The curvature seems right, absolutely. The curvature seems completely natural. It runs. This is to Dave's taste exactly. Sometimes the staff here, they tie the Barens and they've left them in a space that's just too flat without a curvature. So I am 100% happy with the curvature. 100% happy with the way it moves across the block. The weight is a real downside for me. And the hardness, it's so physically hard, I'm really, really worried about the edge, the carved edges of the wood. I couldn't in any way imagine using this for a key block, even the lightest one. The danger of hitting it with that heavy piece of steel. This block is dry. Okay, let's do this. So we're going to sacrifice our print. We're just going to print a base tone. This will give us a better feeling for the actual printing of washi. Does it need paper? Maybe it's okay. Working, it goes smoothly, it rubs well. Oh, it's tearing a little bit. Okay. He did say use something, so fair enough. Well, it works. It works. It works. I know. Not sure what all to add to this. It works. Clearly, I know the Jack said for the instructions, use a backing sheet. That was necessary. This paper, which I printed with my normal Baren with no backing sheet, absolutely needed it. So yeah, it needs one of these. Positives are it works, it does the job. Negatives, I cannot imagine using this all day long. It's so heavy. I don't have any way to, well, I do have a way to weigh it, that weigh scale downstairs. It's like double or triple the weight of a real Baren. So it's like wearing big hiking boots instead of ballet shoes. It's astonishingly heavy. And I'm worried about the hardness. It's so physically hard. I'm really worried about what it would do to the edge of the carved areas. What was the block we're using? For a wide area like this, there's no problem. There's no edges. All you're looking at is getting a good impression across the edge of the middle of the block. But all the little edges here, it just feels so hard and heavy. I'm really, really worried about damaging the wood. One difference in this Baren is you cannot pull up. Yeah, what Jack's talking about there is with a normal Baren, we want to print like this. And what we can do is if we squeeze harder, it's Jack saying pull up, it will increase the curvature because the Baren itself is flexible, it's soft. So that's part of it. This one we can pull up, make it a stronger curve, and target one place. I was talking about the edge. That's another aspect to this too. Where's the other Baren? Okay, the inside of the Baren that I've been using, the one I showed you the other day, it's actually broken. There is the coil itself that has the action. And then at the edge of the coil, there is always, at the very outside ring, there's a wound strip of paper. It's brown paper. It's hard to see here. There's the active coil, which is tough, strong bamboo. And then where my finger is, there's a coil of paper. And then there's the actual Baren itself. And the purpose of that is a couple of things. It's that when we tie the skin on, it's that the skin at the corner, the part that would really split around the edge, it's not touching hard woven bamboo. It's the paper strip inside. So the skin is less likely to split at the edge. But also, when we are printing, it means the leading edge of the Baren, the parts that hits first, is soft. That paper strip is the part that hits first as we rub. And then behind that is the hard bamboo. In Jack's Baren, it's all hard. The first thing that hits, the part about the skin covering is irrelevant because there's no skin here. But when you're moving it, as it comes along and hits the carved wood and paper, the first part of it is just as hard as everything else. I guess that's what I'm worried about when I said this thing is going to hit and damage the carved areas. This is the feeling I've got. Those carved edges, this heavy, extremely hard thing. I guess you could test it. Have you tested, Jack? Have you used one of these a long period of time on one wood block? I can't see all the comments. Ay, 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 ay. Somebody's worried the bumps are flat on top. I can understand how the sharp edges on the bumps can catch fibers. Okay, maybe that then, this is not my suggestion, the little bumps themselves, the actual flat tops, what if they were slightly domed? What if they were rounded? So instead of having all these little bumps that had sharp edges, if they were rounded, would that be a little bit more gentle against the paper? I can't tell if they're rounded. They seem fairly sharp. I can't tell. Have you already done that, Jack? The little nubbins, are they already a little bit rounded? Maybe. But there's another aspect to this, you know, that if I'm not 100% wonderfully in love with this and ready to throw away my tools, there's another aspect to this. Back when I was in Canada, learning and struggling how to do this, I would have killed for this. I would have killed for something like this. It does the job. It actually prints. I was struggling with wooden spoons or a piece of plastic, or one day I got my first plastic Baren. The skin wore out 15 minutes later and I was unable to tie it. I struggled for a decade, more than a decade. I would have killed for something like this. So if I'm less than enthusiastic about using it to replace my own tools, don't let that sidetrack the discussion here. Jack has built something that looks really super useful, I think. If I was going to ask him, Jack, Mark III, what would I like to see differently? Number one is absolutely the weight, to reduce the weight. And number two, the hardness, the hitting my delicate woodblock with a heavy, hard object. This scares the crap out of me. Is there some way to make the attack edge softer than the rest of it? I don't know. For experimentation, let's see if I've got a, hang on, let me get a, yeah, here, we can see what I'm talking about, here. Here's a Baren that's not covered. There's our, the actual Baren itself. Then inside it, this one's all waiting for maintenance, but inside it we have the coil of bamboo fiber, and this is pretty hard stuff. This is actually, come on, focus, here we go. This is a rough and tough Baren. This is really rough. This is built for that kind of block I just showed you, the flat color with nothing. But this isn't big enough to fit, and at the outside of it, around the very edge, we have these paper strips. They're coils, come on, focus. They're coils of paper, and they are far softer than the actual coil Baren. So when this is all wrapped up and we're using it, the edge, the very first part that hits the wood block, that is the leading edge of this thing, it's soft inside. And behind that is the power layer, those really hard coils. And once we've done our attacking, you've seen me do this. I come in here and I rub, and now I'm rubbing with the middle section, and the attacking edge is no longer even relevant. But when I'm coming across it, the attacking edge, soft, is what hits the edge of the wood. And now, the middle of the Baren, it doesn't matter at all. So this is my overwhelming worry about this one. The attacking edge is extremely hard. And with the weight behind it, that to me is a real nervous thing. So am I going to switch to use this today for all of my work? No. Would I have used this heavily X years ago when I was overseas, before I had a chance to buy one of these and before I was able to redo the skin? Yes. Yes, yes. Can we make a couple more impressions with it? Can we do some more? I let the wood go dry. I'm going to print that same one, that same piece of paper that I said the print I sacrificed. We did it just with a light color. So I'm going to print again. I'll use the same piece of paper. I think about the thing I've been emphasizing. It's dangerous. It's hard. Blah blah blah. I think Jack himself said he's using parchment. Did you say, Jack? So maybe the paper that Jack is using in between is actually a sort of a much more protective thing that will protect the block. Dave's inclination is to try and use the thing raw. We want to avoid using the interleaving paper as much as possible. We want to use the Baren raw against the paper and wood, but Jack's concept maybe is different. So I'm complaining about something that perhaps maybe is not even existing in his viewpoint here. It's designed to work with thick, strong backing paper. It works, it works. The dome is the key here. It's working. Most of the plastic Barens available in Japan are just flat, and you can't do this. You can't focus your pressure in different places. This thing works. I mean, I'm tired already. I'm tired, but it works. It does the job. It prints color on washi. Still even. Soka. Jack says, I've always assumed there will be backing paper. Fair enough, okay. For us, the default is no backing paper, but with a tool like this, I guess so. Does it have to be that heavy, Jack? I guess this is steel, is it? It's a steel plate. It looks like about maybe 2 millimeters thick steel. So there's no flex in that. You've left no chance to flex. You've left the dome. Would a thinner, lighter metal be better? I don't know. I'm not the engineer here. Jack's the engineer. Yeah. Didn't think about the weight being a downside. It's the deal killer for me, Jack. I'm sorry, It does work, but even now, after using it for 3 sheets of paper, I feel, maybe you get used to it, but I feel tired, A very cool thing. It's way head and shoulders above the typical plastic Barens that we see here in Japan, except for the weight, The dome shape is cool. I haven't worked out 1, 2, 3. I can't even really see much difference between the 3 of these. I don't know. I guess you're seeing more subtle differences than I do. I would have expected more variation between medium, strong, and light, but I haven't. There's no fair test yet. So. Javi makes. Yesterday, thank you for coming in, sir. The gentleman here, I don't know the pronunciation, hard J or soft J. I think it's Javi Makes, was here yesterday. He was the delivery man that brought this to me yesterday. And I recognized the person's face in the shop, but I failed totally failed to recognize that he was a printmaker and had already showed me his prints last year. My apologies again to you, sir. Thank you for doing the Pony Express work here, bringing this thing. Well, someone says, I'll include a detail block to test that damage risk and see if it occurs. But remember, I'm talking about long-term stuff. I'm not just talking about one sheet. Can you print one sheet without getting damaged? I want to work all day. If we've got a key block here, we're going to make 200 copies. Boom, boom, boom. It's not just a question of 1 or 2 sheets of paper, you know. I'm very happy to see this. It's wonderful to see this. I am in no way against the idea of experimentation with this. And as I said, if at a different stage in my printmaking career, this would have been really helpful. I don't know if I had learned to use first such a heavy tool and then come across real tools, what I would have expected. I don't know. I don't know. No, it says, to be fair, hobbyists don't do 200 copies, and that's out of my hand, of course. Jack is probably not targeting me as the use case for this. You know. I don't dare try it on my block. I'm sorry. This block, okay. I really, really, really don't want to mess with it on this block. Feeling just to go back to what we want here, this part of it would be the same. Let's use that same rough test sheet. The areas are so small here. Pulling it out. So for normal Baren, I'm going to touch it down first. We're now sealed, and then away we go. So I guess I'm not running into the edges on such a small area. There we have it. There's another aspect to this. I don't know. I'm going to make an analogy here that I'm only half familiar with. When I was much younger, there was a chance that I was supposed to go to ballroom dancing classes with somebody. None of this really happened, but there was the idea that the person I was with at the time wanted to do ballroom dancing. We're talking 50 years ago. And she had the gear. She had the shoes and the dresses and all that sort of stuff. I had nothing. But at the time I was working in a company with a suit and tie and that sort of stuff, so I had shoes. She looked at the shoes and says, no, we can't do this. You can't go dancing in shoes like this. They were a sort of a normal pair. I was a musician too, playing in, nightclub downtown and stuff. So I had a standard pair of black shoes. They were probably the cheapest things you could buy in town. And she said, no, we can't use these for dancing. So we went to a shoe store. And we didn't go through with this because it just didn't happen because of the money. But she said to the salesman, we're going to be doing ballroom dancing. Can we try on some shoes? And the guy brought out some shoes for me to try. And I would like to say it was a transformative experience in my life, but it wasn't. We put these shoes on, and I had never felt anything like this. The guy says, stand up. I stand up and I walk around, and he didn't do this, but he said, imagine if I threw a quarter, a 25-cent piece on the floor here, and you stand on it. And I'm like, you can tell what year it is. Yeah, that's 1972, because you can read the lettering on the quarter through the bottom sole of these shoes. So these are pro shoes for dancing, and you can do the thing. Now, we didn't do this. I didn't buy the shoes. We backed out. I never went dancing. It all came to an end. But the point being, what I had thought were normal shoes, I walked around day by day in shoes, I couldn't feel anything. They were probably plastic or something at the bottom, and that's it. I just walked around. That story has come to mind now, thinking about this. It seems like the same thing. This is the ballroom dancing shoes. On the paper, I can feel absolutely everything. I can feel the shape of those little pieces of wood there, how hard to press, how not to press. With this, I can feel nothing. I can feel nothing at all. This is the kind of shoes that dork David wears to walk down the street. This is the kind of shoes that somebody would wear who needs to feel every millimeter and everything. So maybe, Jack, that's the best example. Absolutely, this is not going to replace my tool because I want to feel everything. But this one, with a 2 millimeter steel thick plate in between me and the wood, that's a kind of a strong deal killer for me. Someone's saying it's Fred Astaire. I'm not Fred Astaire, but I really need to feel that wood. So I'm not sure if this is a negative sounding review. I'm sorry. The other thing is, it's for people that don't have this or can't afford this or can't maintain it, or it's just too much trouble for them to use. Absolutely, do this. Do this. It works. It did it, you know. And if you're not printing a couple hundred copies, you're only making 20 copies of your print, you're not worried about block wear and tear, maybe it's okay. You're probably not going to dare sending me another one, but if you did send Mark III, I'd like to see lighter, possibly more flex, and something to mitigate the sharp attack edge of this thing on the wood block. Someone's asking lino cuts, things like this. It might be just the perfect tool. I have no knowledge. I'm sorry, no knowledge. I'm not sure there's anything more I can be productive here. Let's do a bit more work with it. Jack-san, thank you very much for doing this, and thank you for being open about doing this. And as I said, I'm not trying in any way to be negative about what you're doing. This is really cool. Make version 3, make version 4. The people that will use this, obviously it's a deal killer for them. It's a wonderful thing for them to have such a thing available. So. Thank you very much, Jack, for sending this over. We will all, I'm going to pass it to Ishikawa-san, and I won't say anything about it. I will explain to them how to use it, and we're going to label these 3 things, yellow, white, and green. We'll label them because it's still hard for me to understand which one is which. I'm having trouble figuring out, even now, which one is which. So I will label these, we will pass them to all the staff, and we will all have a go at this. Someone's asking about the rain. How bad did the rain get in Asakusa? We started to get worried. We were shipping water on the 2nd floor. We shipped water on the 3rd floor. And our drains up on the roof all clogged and overloaded. I was worried that I might have to go upstairs and start shoveling water off the roof. It didn't get that far, it didn't get that bad. But yeah, it was about the most apocalyptic rain I have ever seen here in Tokyo. The drains outside worked fine. We cleaned them last Tuesday. We cleaned all the drains. The street did drain properly. But that was some apocalyptic rain, absolutely. It was enough that after Thursday afternoon, when this rain was pounding us, it was enough that I went to our closet down on the 1st floor. We have experienced that there was a flood here many years ago, and it flooded into these buildings. So now that we have prints downstairs, we actually have a bunch of stuff on the floor downstairs. We're sort of worried what to do if that rain yesterday, Thursday, had brought a miniature flood. So what we've done is we've built ourselves barrier for the front door. We have wooden sheets that fit into the door space, plastic to go around it, and sandbags to stack up against it. So we can't test this, but as far as we know, we are ready that within about 3, 4, 5 minutes, we can build a dam at the front of the shop to stop a little increase in water. If we're talking waist-high flooding, it's game over, it's all done. But if we're talking a few inches of flooding, which has happened in my memory on the street, we're ready for that. We've got ourselves plastic sheets, boards, and sandbags. We've never done a dry run, and we probably should get the staff ready. Whistle, alert, let's build the dam and see how long it takes us to build this. So we were thinking Thursday afternoon, oh my God, is this the day? Are we going to need this? Buckets. I don't have buckets. You mean buckets for bailing? Yeah, there are buckets downstairs in the back room. The ones that we use for washing the floor and washing the toilet. So yeah, there are buckets also. So we have a sort of action plan ready. If the flood is bigger than that, we cannot possibly hope to handle that ourselves. If the flood happens during hours when people were here, we'll start a chain gang passing up prints up the stairs just to try and evacuate the first floor as fast as we can. We would get the stuff off the floor first, set up our chain gang, and have people carry prints upstairs. If it happens during the night, it's going to be a one-man show for Dave. We've prepared as well as we can prepare. Our shop is at the lowest point in Asakusa in terms of sea level. We are actually a little bit below sea level here. In an area that traditionally was a swamp. Did they start using the water catchment stuff? I don't know. I'm sorry. John's talking about this. There must be video. Did those water catchments come into play on Thursday, or did it all happen too fast? I don't know. I don't know. Well, if the flood went on for a few days, humidity, of course, would destroy us. We're talking about the flood that I saw here in 2014. It came up, it flooded the hotel across the street, it came close to this shop, and then an hour later, it was all gone. So we're not talking about a flood that lasted a long time and that, we're wading through the shop, picking up woodblock prints out of the water. That level of flood would destroy our business. There's nothing else to say. But the rain, as it fell on Thursday afternoon, I have never seen it. There were umbrellas were getting destroyed. There was no wind. One guy walked by the shop here, and as he was near the shop, he was going into the hotel across the street, and his umbrella got totaled by the rain. I'm not talking about wind. We're talking about a guy with an umbrella. There was so much water coming out of the sky, it folded down his umbrella. It wouldn't resist the flood of the water that was falling out of the sky. That's how much rain it was Thursday afternoon. When I came up here to close the back window here, I put my hand out into the rain and I couldn't hold my hand in the rain. There was so much water hitting my hand that it pushed my arm down. It was apocalyptic for a couple of hours there. There must be video all over the place from Thursday. We have video, I think. Maybe we teed this up a long time ago. We have video here. This is not, this is from 2014. This is this street in 2014. Just at the end of a big, massive, there's the shop Moss. We're upstairs from there. That's where we are now. And this was 2014, and the hotel across the street just got wasted. That's the hotel. So this street does have this kind of experience. There's a policeman there standing around not knowing what to do. The cafe is just full of water. They're up to their waist. This was 2014. And we were building upstairs. This is at the moment when we were preparing to move into this building. And Dave is thinking, oh, have I made a big mistake? Whatever. Yesterday was nothing like this. Here's your hotel. Look at this. This is people coming out of the hotel across the street from us. They have a drain there, but it actually wasn't working. The drains in the street were all clogged, or something below them was clogged. That's 2014, 11 years ago. So that memory is what has convinced us we've got our sandbags and our barrier ready to block the front door if that kind of event happens again. A short-term shallow flood. How's our time? Saturday, 9:11 on Saturday. Yes, here we are. I was too busy coughing, didn't hear the stairs. How you doing this morning? How was the trip? Sorry, go ahead, stuff's in the way. Mr. Sadako, good morning.
Good morning.
Someone's asking about a Polonia box. It has a strong woodsy smell. Polonia is the thing to store things in. In the old days, someone's asking about the kiribako. Is it safe to keep prints in?
And
Yes,
also
yes,
safe
yes,
to keep
yes.
clothes.
Anything. In the old days, all the kimono were stored in Polonia boxes. The smell that you're recognizing is antithetical to bugs. So bugs won't come in. Bugs won't come near that.
Very
We
nice.
chose it specifically. So your Polonia box is safe for prints. That was the idea. And we're behind schedule this morning. We've been fooling around with different stuff. I guess I don't, you saw on the street. Whatever.
Yeah,
So. Jack, the young man doing that, I know.
You're amazing.
So and I see myself. I see exactly myself. I can make a better one than this. I can do this. I'm full of admiration, Jack-san. If you're still here, I'm full of admiration for what you're doing, in a selfish way, because I see a lot of myself in you. Thinking about how to make this better, and I'm in no way negative about what you're doing.
Shall I get away?
Pardon me?
Way scale.
I don't think so. I don't want to harp against the same thing over and over again. It is clear that it's heavier. I don't need to know the exact numbers, so But yeah, I would have done exactly the same thing if I had not ended up having access to the real tools. I've no idea what to expect downstairs. The last 2 days, the 3 days have been crazy busy. Mm-hmm. It seems the autumn rush now is here. Even though there's still hot weather, even though there's pouring rain, it's crazy busy downstairs. Way above last year at the same time. And the same thing, we're running out. There's so many people come in asking, do you have this? Do you have this? Mm-hmm. I don't mean a great wave, they come in asking for everything. So this weekend could be super crazy busy downstairs. Someone's saying, did we sell any of those photorealistic prints yet? Yes, the first batch are all gone. We contacted Unsodo again. You're talking about this stuff, right? You're talking about the prints of the eagle and the shop. All the first batch are gone, but Unsodo had more. They sent us 10 more shops and 5 more eagles. They're in the shop downstairs. So yeah, if you're interested, write a note to the staff here. I'm a bit worried now. I've taken so much time on this print because I've been down in the shop. I'm a bit worried now about mold on this print. We're keeping it in the freezer at nighttime, so at nighttime is totally no problem. But I'm so slow. I was here yesterday. I started printing in the morning, got called downstairs, came up, called downstairs, came up, and it was open all day in the hot weather, and I didn't do more than like 30 sheets.
They try to print.
So the same, but the same thing. Well, this morning I'll try and finish this color, but I can't stand it. I'm
Please
supposed to be in the
continue
shop.
working.
But my point is, it's been now out of the freezer for so long each day that I'm really getting a bit worried now. The weather's starting to change a bit, but not much. It's still, what is it, 27? It's still 27 here. And because the paper is thick, it really is heavily moistened, so it's sort of super saturated. Exactly what would be the best recipe for mold. So I've got to get this finished.
Interruption.
It's life. It's life these days. You know, whatever, you know. Oh, show and tell time. Okay. Another interruption.
Only 15 minutes.
Okay. I think I was laughing so much that I was coughing. Okay, show and tell time today is, I think, technically a repeat. It's something that I think we must have shown on this show and tell the day I received the package. I would have received it and said, I got a good one for you today. It's wonderful. And the reason I'm using a repeat today is for two things. One is I don't have a new thing coming in today to show you. And two, this picks up from the theme of the Tokaido that we had the other day. I showed you some awful prints of the Tokaido. Then on the last stream on Thursday, I got back in everybody's good graces by showing some beautiful Tokaido prints. And when I put those prints away at the end of the stream, I saw another folder about, these are Tokaido prints that everybody will enjoy.
Did you put a wet cloth on it?
Well, am I going to be going downstairs? Am I going to be printing? It's no big deal because it's such a small surface area.
Okay?
If it was a full...
I saw you
yeah,
usually.
Yeah, because it was a full wide area. Also, this color too is really, really easy to pick up. After one impression, boom, we're back to normal. So I think I don't need to mix those. I can just put these here. So as I said, we may have looked at this years ago, but it doesn't matter because it's so beautiful. Do I say that too much? It's not stamps. It's a stamp album, and this is what we use to keep some of our small prints in. Dave used to have these when I was a kid, my stamp album. And when I first started collecting
I have a
stamps.
similar one
Yeah.
at home.
So for stamps,
Yes,
postage stamps.
yes,
You're a stamp collector?
yes.
I've
I
known you.
were.
Are you what?
I was.
Do you still have the stamps at home? Wait, I've
It's
known you for
somewhere
30.
in my
I've
house.
known you for 30 years, and I'm just discovering now you were a
I didn't
stamp
have a
collector.
chance to, and all the bills. All
Old
the
money. A stamp and coin collector. I didn't know that. So stuff that was hidden from 30, 40 years, you know what everybody's going to say, oh my God, that's probably worth a lot of money these days.
500 yen bill.
So- the thing about it is, when I was a stamp collector, we're talking about the late 1950s and early 1960s, and I don't know if these kind of photos existed because we were using stamp hinges. You know, we'd take a little stamp and put a hinge on the back and glue it into the album. And when these first came out, I looked at them with great envy because these were really expensive. And Dave, the little stamp collector Dave, could never have afforded something like this. These were expensive. I think they came from Germany. Lighthouse was the brand or something. They were expensive. Anyway. These are Tokaido prints, and they're of the format called Senshafta. And I'm going to take some of them out. And these are an absolute treasure. They date, there's no actual date on, but they come from easily the 1930s. And we've got the original envelope that they must have gone out to the collectors in. Tokaido, Meibutsu, help me, Kyoka, Kyokashu. Kyoku.
Yes.
Kyokaじゃない, Kyokushu. Okay, Tokaido is the highway. Meibutsu is famous products. Kyoka would be poetry or haiku. And it's a mix of kyoka and haiku. Shu means collection. So what we've got is a set of prints that's going to take us down the Tokaido road and show us famous products on the road, and that also includes poetry. And I'm going to struggle here to try and show you just how beautiful these are. They are one of the most beautifully made, well-carved beautiful woodblock prints in our collection. And this is somewhere pre-war. If I could put a single date on it, I'd say 1930, something like that. We have no idea who designed them. The names we see in these little cartouches here are the handle names of the people in the collectors group who sponsored the production of this thing. If I give one to you, you can have a peek at it there. Look at the level of carving and registration and delicacy of printing. It's to die for, absolutely to die for. Everything you see here is carved on pieces of wood. There's the scale. There's my thumb. That's the scale of this carving. The delicacy of the gradation, you can't see where it starts and where it stops. And the station names are on there. Each of these prints has 2 stations. This is, the first one I gave to Sadako was Nihonbashi. And Nihonbashi.
Hajime, yeah.
Oh, so just Nihonbashi, that's right. It was the title print plus Nihonbashi. Now we have 2x2.
Yes,
It's Shinagawa and Kawasaki.
Hatsugatsuo, Hatsunasubi.
Okay, if we have somebody who can translate this, let's have a look at this now. So the first station was Nihonbashi, and it was the fish market in Tokyo at that time. You all know Tsukiji, that's gone, it's now Toyosu. In this day, Nihonbashi was the fish market. And we have a fish and
also
nasu.
vegetable market.
Fish and vegetable, okay, good. And then we have a poem, Sadako?
Poem is quite difficult, but Hatsugatsuo, Hatsunasubi. It's the first katsuo
Of the year.
of the year, and the first eggplant.
Eggplant, nasu. Wasn't that one of the deals where if you had a dream about the first dream of the year, you're supposed to like dream of Mount Fuji or something, or a nasu was one of
Nasubi.
the... So, it must be a wordplay game or something like that.
But people appreciate the first harvest.
Of the year. So there we have it. It says it's Tokaido Goju Sanski. And I can't read that character.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is.
ちょっと待って。
You can see it on screen. Here, on screen. On
はじ
screen.
め。
Hajime. Yeah, okay, I see. Okay, but the
は
first
じ
one,
はじめ。
okay, but the first one
Katakana no
in
me.
Nihonbashi would be relevant to the first harvest of the year. But all of the stations are going to be something about the first of the year, really? Shinagawa and Kawasaki. Here, Kawasaki, they look like mikan. Wouldn't be Kawasaki mikan. Here, let me pass you like
み
it's
か
on.
んみたい。
So the trip down the
鶴見
Tokaido.
梨です。
Nashi.
鶴見の梨。
Yeah, it's not all about January the first season
No.
because that's something seasonal. So it's good. We're going to jump around during the year then. Okay. This is Kanagawa
品川崎。
and Hodogaya. We're still in the Tokyo area. And for me, the attraction is they're just so incredibly beautifully made. Senshefta prints like this could be just tossed off carelessly, but the group who made this must have paid a fortune to the woodblock workshop and asked for the most careful, high-quality work.
Gradation.
I know, that's why I said that, the very first one I picked up. Just the gradation itself is stunning. The level of having deep color going out to zero, and you can't tell where it ends. You can't say there it is, there it is, there it is. It's a perfect gradation. And there's another one in the sea. They've done it again in the sea. And bottom up is another gradation at the bottom from the green. They've pulled out all the stops. This is the kitchen sink, the absolute kitchen sink. These are in our collection, I think. Has somebody got a link to the set that's online? I should have prepared first, I'm sorry. These are all online in super high resolution. You can pinch out on your screen to see them closer up than I can. Oh, someone's got it. You got a link. Thank you. Chocolate eggs to the So we have these prints online. So. Sato something to show. Some of it's readable. It says Sato something imo. It's imo.
里芋
I don't know. At the bottom, it's Sato something imo to show.
もみたいね。
I don't know.
い芋、里芋。
But it's some kind of covering. It's going on rice with a jar of something. And the area, where's the place name? It's where are we on the Tokaido? This was Totsuka. The next one after Totsuka is Fujisawa. It's Fujisawa. So there must be some famous goods coming from Fujisawa. I don't know.
砂糖漬けみたいだけどね。砂糖漬けだね。
The problem for us, or for me, with a set of prints like this, and I fall into this trap as much as anybody. I've got them here in an album. You saw. I put them in an album to protect them. It's okay, no problem. Every now and then I would want to see these. I pull out the album and you look at a page, but then a few seconds later you find yourself trying to flip that page and look at it again, and then you flip. So even Dave, who is a fabulous print connoisseur himself, he doesn't really see most of what we have here. There's too many prints. There's, it's a Tokaido. There's 50 different prints. There's 2 up, so there's 28 prints in the set. But even me, who is wonderfully interested in this, finds it hard to sit and focus just to look at one of them and enjoy the carving, the curved, beautiful carving lines, the gradations, the colors. And I suppose I should study the poetry and the calligraphy. Oh, this is, look, Sadako.
はい。
It's Yajikita でしょ?
そうです
It's
ね。
oiso. Oiso. Anytime you talk about the Tokaido, it comes to mind the thing called hisakurige. We've talked about this because we've shown some books about this before. 2 jokers. It's the Three Stooges, but it's just 2 of them. They went down the Tokaido, and a novel was written about them that served as a guidebook, and as these 2 jokers. And what's the story here? I can't remember. If I try to remember, there's this famous stone there, and the only people that can pick it up are handsome men. So like, if you pick it up, you must be a handsome man, right? And the joker, of course, he tries to pick it up. Well, but he's managed. Look at this in the picture here. He's picked it up.
Ah, that's
To show. But in the story,
yeah,
he couldn't pick it
so.
up.
Yeah. But he couldn't.
In the story, he couldn't pick it up. Just made a fool of himself trying to pick it up. Ah, ha, ha, you're not handsome, you can't pick this up. But here, it's picked up. So I think there's probably a joke poem, a joke kyoka. There's no way I could read that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's senryu, kyoku. So
another
it doesn't
word for
have to
senryu,
be
okay.
true.
Satirical poetry to show. Yeah. There's probably lots of stories from Hizakuri in here, I think, It's supposed to be Meibutsu, but this one doesn't have any Meibutsu listed, so maybe there was no famous thing for that place. What's the station here?
どこだろう。
I don't know, the one after Oiso, I can't remember, I can't read it. I can't read it.
小田原でしょ、下は。
Odawara. But this
下は
one,
小田原。
okay. And this one is? Between Oiso and
Kanagawa.
Odawara. No, we passed Kanagawa a long time ago. I can't remember.
小田原。しょうがないね。
It's the polar opposite of those silly prints I showed you last time, which were just so carelessly made as to be meaningless. Someone says, so no one can read the writing. It is. Japanese written language has changed enough. I've got an excuse I can't read it because I didn't grow up in this country. No. The station between Oiso and Odawara. But there's enough variations of the characters that even an educated lady like Sadako looks at this and is puzzled about how to read
I
it.
didn't major Japanese language.
But in the old days, of course, everybody could read this without
If
even
I
thinking
had
about it.
majored history,
But it must be there. Between Oiso, has somebody got it? What's the station between Oiso and Odawara? This is Namazu, and then must come Mishima. Yeah, Mishima is the next.
Mishima.
But look, they've changed the characters so much. This is Mishima. I'm only guessing because I know what comes next. But there's no way I would have been able to read that. This is Namazu, not Nasu, Numazu.
Hakone?
Okay, someone's looked it up. There is no station.
Hakone desu.
Just they got the order wrong.
Hakone.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that? Of course. Of course, of course, of course, of course. There's no way you can read that without knowing what it says. There's no
now
way.
I can identify each
Okay,
letter.
but coming at it out of the blue, no way. Like the one here, Mishima. Look at this. I know it's Mishima because I know what's the next station. There's no way I could identify. But that's,
old Shima.
I know. But did you know this one?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Sometimes
well.
some people's name.
Okay.
Character.
Okay. You've got a head start on me. Aja, okay. What John's got is they've mixed up the order. After Oiso comes Odawara. So they've put them on the same sheet, but it's not top to bottom. Odawara comes first, and then it's Hakone.
Oh.
So they've twisted them. Maybe because of the design, they wanted to put the bird up at the top, so they did that way. Thanks, John. Thanks for looking those up. Thank you. This must be Yoshiwara, and this must be Hara, right? No? Yoshi... What's the next?
Yoshiwara.
Is there a station Yoshiwara? Just after Mishima. What?
Hara
We've had Mishima and Numazu. Then there's a station called Hara. I think they're mixing up the order here. On pairs. Just so nice. You look at even the calligraphy. They've done printing so nicely. The calligraphy, it looks like it's done with a brush, in that it's thick at the top and it gets thinner and thinner as you go down towards the bottom of each stroke. There's just so much delicacy in this work. So, just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Next would be, somebody's got it. Okay, somebody's given me them in advance. I could have read the next two, so I'm getting a hint before we get this, but this is actually readable. This is Kambara, even modern people can read it. And this is the same kanji now, Yui. This is the same kanji that we use currently for this same place. Okay, I think that'll do us. We've got to get going on this. Sadako and I have to get down into the shop today, and I've got to get back to clean up my work here. So I think we'll leave it there. I really just wanted to try and tip the scales, because I showed you those awful prints the other day. It really became important to me to show you that there's some nicer stuff. These are on our website in stunningly high resolution. You're going to see them on the website more carefully and cleanly than I can see them here in real life. So you take them. Okay. Okay, enough for now. Thank you very much. A bit of a strange stream today. Thanks again to Jack for his openness and willingness to send me that tool. I'm sorry that my reaction to it is not 100% enthusiastic. It is a very nicely made thing, will be very, very useful for certain people out there. I would have killed for it 40 years ago. I would like to see some variations of it before I would use it here in our workshop on a regular basis. But thank you very much, Jack, for playing the game here. I'm very happy to see what you're doing. I think it's time for me to get out of here. There's a little note about something coming up in the future. This is Saturday. The next 3 streams, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, are going to happen as normal. But again, I have booked with Murata-san, our papermaker. I have another appointment with her for Monday, the 22nd of September. So Sadako and I on Sunday night here in Japan will be jumping on the train with video cameras in hand. We will be visiting Murata-san and her neighbor who is making a screen for making paper. And we are going to spend the day up there videoing and interviewing her. So Monday the 22nd, I'm not going to do. I'm not quite sure why they do it so loud when there's no traffic and stuff around. I
I
don't
will
know.
go downstairs.
Okay, see you in a minute. Okay. So anyway, Monday the 22nd will be a day off. It will be followed with a normal stream where we will have a ton of video about the process. So thank you. Anyway, next 3 streams normal. Monday, Thursday, Saturday are normal, and then we'll have a day off. Thank you very much. I'll see you 2 days from now, Monday morning, back at the bench doing exactly this same work. Thank you very much. 3, 2, 1, and bye for now.